Good morning, welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Wednesday, April the 1st, April Fool's Day. Hope you're having a good day. Appreciate you watching. Welcome or welcome back. We are going to be looking at the new releases in the darker side of mystery, the crime fiction and thrillers. Not a whole lot, but we will look at them. If there's time, we might look at some more of the cozies from Monday. Quick announcements, I don't do any sprints on Wednesday night, so no sprints tonight. There are sprints tomorrow night, Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2 hours. We do every Tuesday and Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons. Let us leap in, or stumble in, depending on your level of coffee. As Far as She Knew by Diana Awad, and Mindy Kaling does the introduction, so this might be one of her books. As Far as She Knew. For 23 years, Amira Abadi believed she had a strong, loving marriage, but when her husband Ali dies suddenly, that certainty shatters with the discovery of a house she never knew existed. As whispers of betrayal spread through their tight-knit Arab-American community, Amira refuses to let others define her husband's legacy or her path forward. Diving into an investigation of Ali's final days, Amira uncovers decades-old secrets that challenge everything she thought she knew. With her children struggling to process their father's death, Amira must balance protecting her family with pursuing the truth, even as each revelation brings her closer to danger. As Amira peels back layers of lies, she discovers that the greatest mystery isn't what her husband was hiding, it's how far she'll go to uncover the truth. Karen Rose has a new one. Fourth in the San Diego case files, called Family Lies. As an infant, Kit McKittrick's foster sister Akiko was abandoned at a firehouse. Now 32, Akiko has received an unsettling phone call from a woman who says she knew her birth mother but refuses to divulge any details except in person. Akiko is nervous but also thrilled at the prospect of finally learning about her blood relatives. Kit has a bad feeling about this and insists on accompanying Akiko to meet the woman. Sure enough, as they stand on Mary Sherman's doorstep, shots are fired and Kit is hit. And inside the house is a corpse, Mary Sherman herself. Although she's on medical leave and forbidden to work the case, Kit cannot rest. With police psychologist Sam Reeves, she undertakes a covert investigation into the mysterious Mary Sherman. Was she Akiko's birth mother? Why did she reach out after all these years, and who had a motive to kill her? As more bodies pile up, Kit starts to put together the pieces of the frightening puzzle that is Akiko's birth family, and she'll come to wonder whether some secrets should stay buried after all. Good morning, Mary. How are you? Happy April Fool's Day, indeed. And it's going to be 85. Wow, I think our summer is going to be a hot one for sure if it's starting this early. No kidding. We have snow. Kirsten said, good morning. I'm actually awake at this hour. Must be April Fool's. Indeed. And Mary says, hi, Kirsten. No Good Deed by Catherine Kovacic. Rena and Tom have been planning this trip for years, just the two of them retired, setting out into remote bush country to enjoy nature's dramatic beauty and each other's company. When Tom dies unexpectedly, what is it with unexpected spouse deaths? Just before they are to depart, Rena almost cancels, but there's nothing left at home but painful memories. She hits the road in her kitted-out truck, vowing to follow the itinerary she and Tom had mapped, hoping the trip will at least distract her from her devastating loss. Not far from her first planned stop, Rena notices a fire burning some distance off the highway. Leave it. Being a good citizen, she ventures off-road and is horrified to find a vehicle consumed by flames, with what's left of the driver still inside. When she learns that the victim is a fellow geologist, a less than reputable character whom she hadn't seen in 20 years, Rena begins an unofficial and unwelcome investigation fraught with deceit, diamond theft, and murder. Had her old colleague found a new pipeline for the rare and valuable pink diamond and been killed for it? And if Rena doesn't mind her own business, will she be next? If you see a fire way off the highway, keep driving. End of that road. Excuse me, this morning I have a frog in my throat. Christian says, "Hi, Mary back." Tana French has a new one, The Keeper, third in the Cal Hooper series. On a cold night in the remote Irish village of Ardnakelty, a girl goes missing. Sweet, loving Rachel Holohan was about to be engaged to the son of the local big shot. Instead, she's dead in the river. In a close-knit small town, a death like this isn't simple. It comes wrapped in generations-old grudges and power struggles, and it splits the townland in two. Retired Chicago detective Cal Hooper has friends here now, and he owes them loyalty, but his fiancée Lena wants nothing to do with Ardnakelty's tangles. As the feud becomes more vicious, their settled peace starts to crack apart, and when they uncover a scheme that casts a new light on Rachel's death and threatens the whole village, they find themselves in the firing line. This is part of Ted Bell's estate. That author did pass away, but as is often the case, he still publishes. Wink, wink. Mary says, "I usually like Tana French. Volunteer tomorrow at the library, so may look for it. Reading Dan Brown's Secret of Secrets right now." Oh, I have it. I got it on release day. I just haven't read it yet. I might save it for Garb August. I'm not sure. This is definitely a Garb August one. I have read the first one in this series, actually by the author. This is written by Ryan Steck. It's called Warmonger. Ted Bell's Warmonger. Lord Alexander Hawke's hunt for the Warmonger, a shadowy figure orchestrating chaos across the globe, is put on hold so that he may undertake an urgent mission for the crown. His assignment? Travel to Russia, escorting the lovely Dr. Ariadne Silk, confront his arch-nemesis Vladimir Putin, and good luck, and recover a secret document that threatens to shake the British monarchy to its core. While Hawke makes a perilous journey across Europe, his good friend Ambrose Congreve's routine investigation of a bizarre murder takes a deadly turn, pulling him into a cat-and-mouse game with Silence, a cold-blooded assassin who may be targeting Hawke himself. Hawke will soon discover that he is a pawn in the warmonger's Byzantine plot to bring the world to the brink of total war and resurrect a fallen empire. Those are fun to read sometimes. Oh, there's a cover. The Dreadfuls by A. Ray Dunlap. London, 1888. Committed to the Whitechapel Hall Reform School for Incurably Delinquency, Adelaide Dell Morton is a precocious, defiant misfit. She's also a voracious reader of true crime and detective fiction, including the sordid, sensationally popular Penny Dreadful stories. In an unlikely stroke of luck, she's found a kindred spirit in her poised, perfectionist roommate Pippa. Their obsession is only further fueled by the Jack the Ripper murders blazing a trail of terror throughout London's seediest streets, right outside Whitechapel Hall's front door. Desperate for adventure, they embark on their own investigation and discover an ally in Noah, son of the local butcher. But Noah's motives are not mere fascination. His father is the prime suspect. Noah is desperate to clear his name, and Dell and Pippa are only too eager to help. Their budding spy work soon yields shocking results. They witness straight-laced Whitechapel teacher Miss Kay escaping the school the night of the latest crime. Could Jack the Ripper be a she? Delving into Miss Kay's background, Dell is both horrified and thrilled to find that within Miss Kay's past lies a chapter dark enough to rival any Penny Dreadful. Dell's fixation with Miss Kay reaches dangerous heights, while a series of suspicious events leaves Miss Kay in sole command of Whitechapel Hall. Trapped in their teacher's ever-tightening web of control, the three devious detectives devise a risky plan to track her, but what ensues may only propel them ever deeper into secrets, lies, ruthless acts, and betrayals that go back decades, and a confrontation that will irrevocably change the fates of all involved, if they survive. Friends of the library. That's going to be a fun day. Bobby says, "Hi, hello. Happy April Fool's Day. Back at ya." The Perfect Girl by Andy Maslin, 6th in the Detective Cat Ballantyne series. How do you stop a killer? This is 6th in the Detective Cat Ballantyne series. Did I say that? How do you stop a killer no one believes exists? D.S. Cat Ballantyne wants to know why a perfect girl like Rosie Duggan would jump to her death from a multi-story car park. Everyone is saying she took her own life, but Cat is unconvinced. Girls like Rosie, bright, popular, well-adjusted, and with her whole life ahead of her, don't fall from tall buildings, unless someone pushes them. When a second student dies the same way, Cat is the only one asking the hard questions. As she digs deeper, a disturbing pattern begins to emerge. With loyalties fracturing and powerful enemies circling, shocking DNA evidence leads to a surprising suspect. But has Cat really found the killer, or has she just been played? End of that row. Any book that has the word protocol in its title is going to be a good book. That is a rule. More like guidelines. But good for like Spy versus Spy. The Uganda Protocol by Jeffrey James Higgins. Oh, it must be son of? Maybe. 4th in the Nathan Burke thrillers. FBI agent Nathan Burke expected a routine prisoner transport. Instead, he finds an airplane full of corpses and his most wanted terrorism suspect gone without a trace. The investigation plunges him into an international manhunt for Imam Omar Yemeni, a man whose network runs deeper and deadlier than anyone imagined. Meanwhile, Iranian immigrant Layla Kabiri works as a court interpreter, building a new life for her neurodivergent son Darius after fleeing her homeland. But when colleagues start disappearing and foreign operatives make contact, Layla discovers the American justice system itself has been compromised. Someone is watching her every move, and they want something only she can provide. What Nathan doesn't realize is that Yemeni's escape was just the opening move in a much larger plan, one that targets the most vulnerable and threatens mass casualties. As Nathan races across continents tracking his fugitive, Layla finds herself trapped between protecting her family and doing what's right. When their paths finally converge, both will discover that the most dangerous enemies are the ones hiding in plain sight. The Weight of Glass by Tamara L. Miller. Mary says, "Hi, Bobby, no fooling." And Bobby says, "No promises." Emma Meadows has a secret, one she's been carrying for over 20 years, too terrified to tell even her devoted husband. The unassuming mother of one tries to blend in with life in her sleepy Canadian town at the shores of Lake Superior, but on Christmas Day, Emma's boisterous in-laws make it nearly impossible. When a strange gift arrives bearing a sinister message, her nerves threaten to shatter. The next day, she disappears. Although the police and her husband think Emma just walked away, 21-year-old Jaden believes there's more to her mother's disappearance. Searching for answers, she begins with the gift, a glass music box. But as Jaden's questions open a window into her mother's past, they spark unwanted attention from a stranger, forcing her on the run. Trapped by a brutal ice storm in the heart of a northern wilderness, Jaden is forced to confront her mother's secret and a stranger carrying a dangerous truth. Fighting to protect the people they love, no matter what, Jaden, Emma, and the stranger find themselves on a collision course with a deadly past. So she finds her mother. What Happened Next by Edwin Hill. What do I remember about the murder on the lake? Charlie Kilgore was too young to remember anything, really, about how events on the lake unfolded 25 years ago. He just knows what he's been told, that his father stabbed a man to death, left Charlie's mother critically wounded, and then disappeared, never to be seen again. Now Charlie believes there must be more to what happened. Using the shards of the story he's uncovered so far as the heart of a true crime podcast, Charlie returns to his hometown in the foothills of New Hampshire's White Mountains. Old friends, family, authorities, and even collateral victims have moved on, and no one wants to dredge up what's long forgotten, except Charlie. He wants to know what could have transformed a quiet man into a monster, and what happened next. But when Charlie starts asking questions of people with so much to hide, getting to the truth becomes dangerous. Because on this lake, in this family, the past isn't dead and buried at all. In fact, it's back with a vengeance. Dun dun dun. Alright, that is it for the darker side. We've got about 5 minutes. Let's jump into a couple more of the cozy mysteries. Boop. We were here. Let me check in here. Bobby says, I knew an Emma Meadows. How weird. Yeah. Kind of pulls you out of the story. Glug of coffee. Alright. Switching gears. Cozies. Built on Lies by Hannah Ellis. 7th in the Lily Larkin Mysteries. When amateur sleuth Lily Larkin visits London, she has 2 things on her mind: spending time with her boyfriend P.C. Flynn Granger, and digging deeper into the mystery of her parents' deaths. She doesn't expect her trip to involve murder, but trouble has a way of finding Lily, even in the big city. The residents of Flynn's apartment block are shocked when their landlord, Jeremy Latham, is found dead, crushed beneath his own bookcase. Oh no. At first it looks like a tragic accident, until Lily notices inconsistencies among the scattered shelves and starts hearing unsettling stories about Latham's so-called generosity. Drawn into a tangle of rivalries, grudges, and whispered complaints, Lily soon realizes that everyone had a reason to want Latham gone. But as tensions rise and lies unravel, she must uncover the truth before the killer decides she's asking too many questions. Because in this building, you can't always trust your neighbors or your landlord. It's kind of a pretty cover, though. Roughed Up by Christine Falcone, or Falcone. 4th in the Melanie Bass Mysteries, or Bass. As she looks forward to the return of warm summer days in her native Connecticut, visiting nurse Melanie Bass has more than difficult patients to contend with. She is haunted by guilt over a home invasion she feels she could have prevented, struggles to reconnect with her difficult and until now distant older sister, and faces complications in her personal life when an attractive new veterinarian seems to have designs on Melanie's boyfriend. Just when she thinks things can't get any worse, there is another brutal attack, this time on someone she loves. As the stakes mount, Melanie struggles to deal with her complicated personal life and find and stop those threatening the ones she loves before she is the next victim. Caught Dead by Patty Larson, 20th in the White Witch Island Paranormal Cozies. Georgia's concerns about Sam's paranormal client amplify when that same client goes missing and Sam's the suspect in his disappearance. She's entangled in Guild Artemis businesses because of it, putting Benjamin at risk of discovery when the Hades Hound insists on defending Sam. But when a prominent local turns up dead, is it a new case of the serial murders that same client is accused of? Or does Georgia have another problem on her hands? End of that problem. We might be able to fit in a couple more. The Body on Black Lake by D.L. McCown. 3rd in the Hawkins Family Mysteries. The Hawkins family is looking forward to a quiet Thanksgiving weekend. Instead, they get unexpected guests, strangers shooting at them, neighbors going missing, and a blizzard, not to mention a dead body found in the black waters of their lake. Harry vows to stay out of it, but when the cops confiscate his guns as evidence, he's left with nothing to do over the holiday weekend except investigate murder, right along with Liz and Harry as they once again help the police with their inquiries. You wouldn't be able to tell it was a Thanksgiving book, though. Interesting angle. Apocalypse Wolf, 6th in the Dahlia Wilds Magical Mysteries by Nova Nelson. For 5th Wind Witch Dahlia Wilds, East Wind finally feels like home. She has a job she enjoys, a boyfriend she loves, and friends sprinkled around her magical town. But when a prophetess crashes a charity fundraiser to point a finger at Dahlia's hellhound familiar Atlas as the harbinger of impending doom, friendly smiles turn to suspicious glares. As unexplainable phenomena pop up around town, panicked Eastwinders call for Atlas's head. Probably literally. If Dahlia wants to keep her best friend safe, she must get to the bottom of what's going on around town and put a stop to it before the restless mob has its way. Can Dahlia decode the prophecy and stop it in its tracks before the town turns Atlas into a hellhound sacrifice? Inquiring minds want to know. We'll do one more. Those two had shorter descriptions. Two Purloined Pillows by Ali Pleiter. Second in A Nimble Needle Mystery. It's been a little over a year since Shelby started managing Nina's Nimble Needle following her office romance and career implosion, and Shelby's mom has finally handed her the reins, technically at least. Next, Shelby's excited to oversee two well-known needlepoint designers who will be participating in the town's first 2-week-long arts festival. Laura Bitters and Paul Bardo have each stitched up one-of-a-kind pillows that should be big wins for the nimble needle at the festival's auction, until the pillows vanish amid a sudden string of shoplifting incidents. To add to the knot in Shelby's stomach, Laura proves highly anxious while Paul is an egomaniac who believes Laura has been stealing his customers for years. But things go from bad to tragic when Laura behaves oddly at the auction dinner, then collapses, dead. Soon after, Shelby makes a shocking discovery in Laura's room at the local inn. Then tests reveal that Laura was poisoned. Resolved to piece together the truth despite the police chief's determination to keep her on the fringes, Shelby rallies her personal team, including her sister Jessica, her friend Deb, and Jake, her potentially more than a friend. As an extra twist, a magazine reporter arrives with unsettling yet useful dirt that includes Laura and Paul. What unravels is a skein of suspects' long-held resentment, bitter jealousy, and betrayal, from which Shelby will have to pull the one crucial thread tied to the killer, a murder-worthy motive. Well, we got further. Everybody remember where we parked? We'll do the rest of them. See, look at that. Lots. On Friday. Let's see. Bobby says, did I mention I finished outlining my upcoming novel? Good job. Oh, I left the wrong banner up. Oh well, it's appropriate now. Alrighty, well thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a good Wednesday and stay out of April Fooling if at all possible, unless you want to participate. Again, no sprints tonight. I don't do them on Wednesday night. Our next sprints are tomorrow night, Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Mary, have a good time at the Friends of the Library tomorrow. And Mary says, wow, Bobby, congratulations. A big accomplishment. Absolutely. Now you have a roadmap. Thank you guys. Mary says, thanks so much. Hope everyone has a great April. We'll back at you, baby. And Amy says, hi and bye, everyone. Hello. Hello, goodbye. Aloha. All right, everybody, have a good day. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Om nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.